Hi folks. There was one other thing that was said to me during the time when I was having a shower, and that was that maybe the reason why God wanted me to plead guilty to a crime that I was not guilty for, the dog abuse case, was because of that Christmas Eve man. Because what's in his nature made him think pointing at my sin and judging me in that way was okay. Now, okay, on that night he said he was not judging me. Well, he was. Because if he says the newspapers and the court says I was guilty, therefore I must be guilty, even though I'm saying no. No. If God wanted me to say guilty to something I wasn't guilty of, therefore I'm not guilty. Even though the law now says I'm guilty for that. It does not matter. It doesn't make me guilty. It makes me guilty according to the eyes of the law, but so what? And yeah, he was judging that no, that is not true. No, if the courts and the newspapers say you are guilty, then you are guilty. That's called a judgment. And so, yeah. Yeah. I say it's in his nature. But as I said, it's, yeah, I think in a lot of people, there's something in them where they want to belong. That's why when they become a doctor, when they become a nurse, a social worker, a police officer, someone who works in a court, a solicitor, they see all the people that do the job that they do as perfect. That those people are completely innocent. There's no bad people. There's no people that just want to get money from that situation, or want to judge people, or want to hurt people, or they're doing it because the power. Yeah. It's not possible for that to be the case, because if that's the case, then what they joined was nasty, and that can't be true. Because people want to belong. And if they think what they belong to is nasty, then that's not good for them, is it really? So therefore they believe the people who are doing the job that they do must be perfect. Must be. So therefore that's why he said the courts don't lie. The newspapers don't lie. Well, to everyone else, they know that the courts lie. They know that the newspapers lie, because they do. They know that the law is used in ways that are wrong. They bend the law. They know that. They know that solicitors do that all the time. They know that people working in the law don't really care about people. All they care about is getting people. Or, if they're the defenders, all they care about is getting the money. We know that. We know that. People that work there don't know it, because they couldn't believe it. If that's true, then their job is bad, and that can't be possible. Can't be, because they love the people they work with. So they can't be wrong, can they? Well, so that's the point. People want to belong. People always want to belong. That's the reality. Yeah. We're in that situation where people want to belong. That's why they go to a church, and that's why that church has to be perfect. I've said before, when I first popped in to say hello to the people at the Community Church of God, it's only down the road from me. It's on the same road that I live on. It's only just down the road. And for a long time, I never bothered going in there. And I popped in after a service and asked a person there, as a lady, who was saying goodbye to people. So I asked her about the church. And she said, oh, it's amazing. The pastor is brilliant. The ministry is brilliant. The worship is brilliant. Everything is so amazing in this church. It's absolutely wonderful. And she probably thought that was right. But it never was. That was never true. But say, people want to belong. And when they want to belong, they think the best things they can about what they're in. It could be the church, it could be their job. They want to think the best things about them. Yeah. But most times, that's a lie. And so, yeah. As I say, the church was never, the Pentecostal church that I know of me was never as she described. Never. I mean, it might have been in its original days, and that would have been about 100 years ago. It might have been something like that then. Maybe there were queues around the block at that point in time for people to get into it then. There isn't now. And there hasn't been for God knows how many years. But yeah. That's what I've said before. People in church are deluded about where the church is. And the reason is they want to belong. They want to think the best. So they want to think the church is doing much, much, much better than it is. Of course they do. Because if they see the church as it is, then there's no hope. No hope at all. If they realise that their church is banning people for talking truth and asking questions, if they realise that, and it was against God's way, and it was the devil's way, then, where's the hope? Once they realise that, once they realise that the pastor could not care less about where you go when you die. All the pastor cares less about is the fact that he has a job. Right? That's the case in most churches. Once you realise that, what do you do? And once you realise that if you tell people that, you will get banned from that church. You will get banned. The pastor won't get sacked. You will get banned for saying that. Even if it's true, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So there you go. I wish you well. You take care. And I hope that you can find somewhere where you know that God is starting to lead. Alright? Take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be a blessing, be blessed, and have a fantastic week.